ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨਾ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਾਧ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਡੰਡੋਤ ਬੰਦਨ ਅਨਕ ਬਾਰ ਸਰਬ ਕਲਾ ਸਮਰੱਥ ਡੋਲਨ ਤੇ ਰਾਖੋ ਪ੍ਰਭੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਹੱਥ ਕਹਾਂ ਬੁੱਧ ਪ੍ਰਭ ਤੁਝ ਹਮਾਰੀ ਵਰਨ ਸਕੈ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਜੋ ਤਹਾਰੀ ਹਮ ਨਾ ਸਕਤ ਕਰ ਸਿਫਤ ਤੁਮਾਰੀ ਆਪ ਲਹੋ ਤੁਮ ਕਥਾ ਸੁਧਾਰੀ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਆਸਣ ਲੋਏ ਲੋਏ ਭੰਡਾਰ ਜੋ ਕਿਛ ਪਾਇਆ ਸੋ ਏਕਾ ਵਾਰ ਕਰ ਕਰ ਵੇਖੈ ਸਿਰਜਣਹਾਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਸੱਚੇ ਕੀ ਸਾਚੀ ਕਾਰ ਆਦੇਸ ਤਸੈ ਆਦੇਸ ਆਦ ਅਨੀਲ ਅਨਾਦ ਅਨਾਹਤ ਜੁਗ ਜੁਗ ਏਕੋ ਵੇਸ ਆਸਣ ਲੋਏ ਲੋਏ ਭੰਡਾਰ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਰਾਜਾਨ ਰਾਜ ਭਾਨਾਨ ਪਾਨ ਦੇਵਾਨ ਦੇਵ ਉਪਮਾ ਮਹਾਨ ਪਤਿਤ ਪਾਵਨ ਭਗਤ ਵਚਲ ਜੋਤ ਸਰੂਪ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਖਜ਼ਾਨੇ ਚੌਰ ਛਤਰ ਤਖਤ ਤੇ ਮਾਲਿਕ ਧੰਨ 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 ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ। We're very lucky, very blessed to be able to continue to come onto the social media platforms and continue learning about this Amritmay Bani of Sri Japji Sahib that Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj has blessed us with. That we have been lucky enough to go through this Bani. That is the first Bani that comes up within Dhan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. It is the first Bani that is read at that Bata, at that Amrit Sanchar, when Khandidi Bol is being prepared. There is this Amritmay Bani that is the first Bani of a Guru Sikh's Nitnem in the morning. It is the first of the 5 Baniya that we are to read within the morning. That we have learnt that how through listening, believing and implementing these teachings of Sri Japji Sahib, that we are able to obtain that Brahm Gyan, that divine knowledge of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. That is through implementing the teachings that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj has given us each week, we are able to break free of the 84 lakh June, the 8.4 million life forms that we are entangled within. That is what Guru Sahib is blessing us each week when we come and listen to this Katha. Guru Sahib says within their own Bani, Sun Har Katha Utari Mail, that by listening to Katha, by listening to that discourse, we are able to wash away all of that pollution, all of that dirt that we have accumulated through our previous lives. Through listening to Katha. Mahapunita Pe Sukha Sail. That person that listens to Katha, they become Mahapunit. They become the purest of the pure. And they obtain that sukh, that peacefulness, that happiness, simply by listening to Katha. They are able to obtain that. Vade Pag Paya Sadh Sang. That is only through our Vade Pag, our great fortunes, are we able to obtain the Sadh Sangat. That yes, we may not be able to physically sit within our divan and listen to this Katha just of yet, but Guru Sahib is still blessing us. They're still giving us that blessings of coming on the social media platforms and continue learning about this Amrit Bani, where we have seen with the Siddhs, those aesthetics, those followers of the Sanatana faith, the Hindu faith, in these collection of Bodhiya, they have been trying to get Guru Sahib to convert. They're trying to get Guru Sahib to become a Siddh. That in this collection of Bodhiya, the Siddhs have been telling Guru Sahib about their ways in the hope that Guru Sahib will become their pracharak, become their preacher, because they saw Guru Sahib to be very wise, very spiritual. And they thought to themselves that if Guru Sahib was to become our pracharak, if Guru Sahib was to become our preacher, then the whole world would adopt the Siddh way. With this in mind, the Siddhs have been telling Guru Sahib about their ways. That we have learnt about how the Siddhs will wear those earrings, how they would have begging bowls, they would have that satchel, they would have that staff, that walking stick, and how they would rub ash upon their bodies. And Guru Sahib has been blessing the Siddhs and blessing us about what the deeper meanings, the deeper art of those things really are. That how we should have santosh, contentment, that is our true jewelry. That how we do not go begging anywhere else, that shame is in fact the begging bowl for a Guru Sikh. And last week, the Siddhs continued asking Guru Sahib questions. They asked about how the creation was created. And Guru Sahib showed us how Maya was created, how Maya can be split into 3 different characteristics of Satagun, Rajogun and Tamogun. That how Maya uses these to create, sustain and destroy within this world. But Maya is only following the hukam of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. And when we explored the deeper arts of last week's body, we saw how the Siddhs would then ask about how the role of the Devi Devte, of Brahma, Vishnu and Shivji, what role do they play? And Guru Sahib again showed us that how they are not one with Waheguru Ji. That they are simply stuck doing the seva of Waheguru Ji, that they are just following Waheguru Ji's commands. That the Siddhs were believers in these Devi Devte. And they continue to ask Guru Sahib questions in this week's body. Having learnt about Shivji, who they believe in, they are aware that Shivji has their own lok, how Shivji resides within their own realm, known as Shiva Lok, Shivapuri. That's the lok that they reside within. That the Guru of the Siddhs, Gorakhnath, and even his Guru, Bashindranath, they were of the lineage of Shivji. And even Gorakhnath would reside at Samer Parbat, that mountain range, that's where they would reside. And because of that, the Siddhs now reside at Samer Parbat, that mountain range, in order to adopt the Siddh way. That is where the Siddhs would go in order to try and obtain those Riddhya Siddhya, those occult powers that they would long after. And having known this, having heard that Vaheguru Ji is all powerful, that everything is within the hukum of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, the Siddhs now ask Guru Sahib that Shivji resides within Shivlok, that our Guru Gorakhnath resided at Samer Parvat. That if Vaheguru Ji is so powerful, if everything is within their hukum, then where does Vaheguru Ji reside? Where is their throne? Where is their seat? Within this week's body, Guru Sahib is going to give us this teaching. They're going to give it to the Siddhs, and we can take it we can obtain that Gyan ourselves through this week's body. Satnam Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji. Asana loe pandar. Asana means that throne, that seat of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. Having been asked that question, that where is that throne, where is that seat of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, Guru Sahib now responds by saying Asana loe. Loe means lok, that realm. That the throne of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, that asana of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, is not only just in this lok, not in just in this realm, but it's loe, that is in all of the realms, all of the loks that have been created. That every single part of this creation is the seat, is the throne of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, Guru Sahib is saying to the Siddhs. Now we might think that how is this possible? That how can Vaheguru Ji's asana be everywhere? Their throne, their seat is every part of creation because they are the ones that have created it. That we know Vaheguru Ji resides everywhere within creation because they are the ones that have created it. That's the only way that the creation can be complete, if the creator is actually within the creation. Just like how we know Vaheguru Ji's, they reside everywhere. Therefore their asana, their seat, their throne is in fact everywhere also. There is not just within one lok like Shivji. How Shivji would be known to reside in Shivlok. How Gorakhnath, the king of the Siddhs, would reside at Samer Parvat. Guru Sahib is saying that the throne of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji is not like that, because it is everywhere. It is everywhere in this creation, in every single lok, not limited to just one, but it's every single particle within this creation is the throne of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. And the Siddhs have been trying to give Guru Sahib that pandar, that store. They've been trying to get Guru Sahib to convert, therefore they've been offering that store. That how Guru Sahib can be in charge of the Siddhs. They can bless the Siddhs with positive or negative. They've been trying to give that responsibility to Guru Sahib in order to entice them. And the Siddhs are also asking about where is the pandar, the store of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. And Guru Sahib is telling us here that the store of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, that pandar, is in fact every single Ji, every single species, every single being that is within this creation. That the creation itself, every single life form can be seen as the pandar, the store of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. So not only does Vaheguru Ji reside everywhere, within every single lok, but their pandar is also every single being within this creation. Jo kich paya so ekavar. We have mentioned how the Siddhs would have that begging bowl, because the Siddhs would not earn a living. Therefore they would put a begging bowl in front of them in the hopes that people would make donations, that they would see the Siddhs as very spiritual people, and therefore feel the need to donate to them. And that is how the Siddhs would get by. And once that food has been put into that begging bowl, the Siddhs will have that bandaran, that distributor, that would collect that food, store it in the bandar, in that store, and then distribute it to the Siddhs when need be. Now that's how the Siddhs would get by. And in this Pankti, Jo Kich Paya So Ekavar, Guru Sahib is referring to that begging bowl that the Siddhs would have. Jo kich paya, that whatever is placed into that begging bowl, so ekavar, it is placed there at once. That the Siddhs would have that begging bowl in front of them, waiting for people to constantly give them that food. But Guru Sahib is saying, Jo kich paya, so ekavar, that whatever is placed into that begging bowl is done at once. Now we might think that how is that possible? That how can everything be put into that begging bowl? How can everything be given to us all at once? Guru Sahib is referring to how our karma work, about how our previous actions really work. Throughout this katha, we have been blessed to come to learn about the 3 different types of karams. The sanchit karams, the kiryaman karams that we do on a daily basis, that then become collected at the end of our lives and become that sanchit karam. That how we have looked at it as if those sanchit karams are placed within a bowl, and Waheguruji at their own will picks a few out and sends us with those as our hukam, as the Paralabad karam, the hukam for this life. That we have mentioned that how as part of the Paralabad karam is the person that we are going to be, the family, the household that we are going to be born into, the family that we will then have, our spouse, our children, the seva that we are going to be blessed with. But part of that hukam is also the amount of food that we will be given within this life, based on our previous actions. The Vaheguru is already been preordained for us how much food we will receive within this life based on our previous actions. That if we have done good within our previous lives, we will obtain that food. That if we have done negative actions, that we might not have as much. That sometimes we might question. That sometimes we might not have enough to get by. And we might think that how is this possible? Why is this? What is the reasons as to this? Guru Sahib is showing us here that it is all about it comes down to our karam. That whatever is put into that begging bowl is placed there all at once. That Waheguruji sends us with that hukam for this life, that right at the beginning, the amount of food that we are to receive is already preordained for us. That Waheguruji does not have to come constantly and keep topping us up, saying that today I will give him this, tomorrow I will give him this food, the day after I'll give him that. No, Sasangati is already been preordained for us, based on our own previous actions. That if we are due food, that in some kind of form, one shape or another, that food will come to us. It will be given to us, based on our own previous actions. Jo kich paya so ekavar, that whatever's been placed into that bowl, that begging bowl, Waheguruji themselves have sent us with that at once. So ekavar, right at the beginning when we received our paralabd karams, we were given the amount of food that we are to obtain within this world based on our own previous actions. Kar kar vekhe sirjanhar. Vekhe means to see. Sirjanhar is a description of Akal Purkh Waheguruji. It is referring to how Waheguruji Sirja, that how Waheguruji creates and how Waheguruji sustains within this world. Sirjanhar Waheguru. Kar kar, the first kar is referring to how Waheguruji creates our lives, creates within this creation. The second kar is referring to how Waheguruji sustains within this world. Sirjanhar Waheguruji looks over this creation, having created it and sustained it. Created our lives and sustained our lives as well. That Sirjanhar Waheguruji will look over us, look over their creation, until such a time comes that we reach the end of our lives, or we are blessed enough to become one with Akal Purkh Waheguruji. That Sirjanhar Waheguruji looks over this creation, sustaining, creating and sustaining it. Nanak sache ki sachi kar. Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj is saying to us, Sache. Sache means the truth. Sache ki, that Akal Purkh Waheguruji is the form of the truth. But not only are they the truth, Sachi God. God means their way, their hukam, their command. That their command, their hukam is also the truth. That not only Vaheguru Ji themselves are the truth, but their hukam, their command, their way is also the truth. That sometimes we might start to compare ourselves to others. That we might see that we do not have that much materialistically. That we might see others that have a lot of materialistic goods. That we might think that we do good, positive actions within this life, but yet we still are not blessed. That we might start to look at others. We might start to think that they do negative actions within this world, but yet we are seeing them still being blessed by Vaheguru Ji. That they are still receiving materialistic goods, even though they are doing bad actions within this life. That we might start to think that this isn't fair. That how can this be the truth? How can this be a fair way? But Guru Sahib is saying to us that the way of a Akal Purkh of Vaheguru Ji is the truth, because Vaheguru Ji doesn't have any favourites. They do not give to people differently. They constantly give to their creation based on their own karam, based on their own previous actions. That if that person that we are looking to, who we might deem to do negative actions, in their previous lives they have done good, positive actions. That is why they are being blessed with those materialistic things that we are longing after. But Sad Sangat Ji, let it be known, those that do those bad actions will eventually have to pay for them. They will regret them, because those good actions that they have done previously will soon run out, and they'll only have those bad actions that they will have to repay. Showing us that how the way of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji is fair, is the truth, because they are always giving based on our own actions. That it is down to us what we receive. That if we do good, positive actions, if we read Gurbani, if we do Seva, if we do Simran, the Vaheguru Ji will bless us accordingly. That will destroy our karams. Even if we do good charity, even if we do good worldly actions such as charity work, that will ensure us to have a good positive life in the future. But if we are stuck doing sins, if we are stealing, if we are lying, then we will have to repay for that. Because the way of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji is the truth. That is fair, because Guru Sahib themselves give to us based on our own karam. In the times of Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, there was a Gursikh who we have heard about in previous weeks, in previous Bodhiyan. We have gone through the Sakhi of Bhai Rupa Ji, also known as Bhai Roop Chand, whose mother was married into a household that believed in the fake prophets, that they didn't believe in the Gurus, in the house of Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. But through the faith, through the belief of that Bibi, and Guru Sahib's Kripa, that family was able to become reformed. And Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji actually named by Rupa Ji. And that is not the Sakhi, but in those times there was a Gursikh called Bhai Kala Sidhu, who was in the same area, who respected Bhai Rupa Ji. And Bhai Kala Sidhu was from a very poor family, and he would have two nephews who had become orphans that he would now have to look after. And in those times it was very difficult to look after your own family if you was poor, let alone having the burden of two more children. And what Bhai Kala Sidhu thought, they thought to go to the Charan Sharan of Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, that Guru Sahib will bless us, they will bless my nephews if we go to their Charan, because we cannot look after them. And what Bhai Sahib instructed his nephews to do, he told the children that when you go in front of Guru Sahib, bang on your stomach to show that you are hungry, to show that you are poor. And just as they were instructed, when they went to Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, the children started to bang their stomachs. And Guru Sahib started to ask them, what are they doing? Of course, Guru Sahib already knew what was happening, because they are antarjami, they are the know of everything. But to play this out, they asked Bhai Sahib that what are these children doing? And Bhai Sahib said that these children, they are my nephews. They have become orphans, that they are very hungry, they are very poor. And Guru Sahib did a bachan. Historians write that these children, these nephews, were blessed with 2 horses. And Guru Sahib said that wherever you take these horses, wherever these horses drink from, you will become the Raja, you will become the rulers, you will become the kings of that land. Wherever you take these horses, wherever they drink from. And just like the hukam, the bachan that Guru Sahib gave, one nephew took their horse to Patiala, the other one took theirs to Nabba. And Guru Sahib said that as long as you remain within Sikhi, that area will come into your lineage, and you'll be removed from Gribi, you'll be removed from poverty, as long as you remain within Sikhi. That they did become Raja, the kings of Patiala and Nabba, but eventually their lineage would go away from the teachings of Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, and they would lose that kingdom, they would lose that kingship. That we might think that how is this related to this Bhakti? How is this showing us that the way of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji is fair, that the way of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji is in fact the truth? Because we might see this Sakhi just showing us that Guru Sahib is able to bless us. But when Bhai Sahib went back to their home, when Bhai Kala Sidhu returned to their home, to their family, to their kids, to their wife who had forced them to go to Guru Sahib, who forced them to go and take their nephews to Guru Sahib because they could not cope. Upon hearing what had happened, what had taken place, the eyes of the wife of Bhai Sahib started to light up, because she thought that we have children too. Now why don't we take them to Guru Sahib? That Guru Sahib can bless our lineage to become kings, just like they have done with our nephews. And Bhai Kala Sidhu returned to Guru Sahib with his own sons and did that benti to Guru Sahib. The Guru Sahib showing us how the ways of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji, how the command of Waheguru Ji is the truth. They said to Bhai Sahib that it isn't within the gadam of your children to become rulers. It is not within their previous actions. It is not within their gadam to become those Raja. It was in fact within the gadam of your nephews to become rulers, to become a Raja. That we were just blessing them with what was already written for them. Showing us how Waheguru Ji, how Guru Sahib themselves remain within that hukam. They follow the hukam, the command that is the truth. Because Waheguru Ji, Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji, was only giving to those nephews what was already written for them in their gadam. That they could have blessed those sons of Bhai Sahib, but because of their gadam, it wasn't written there. And Dhan Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji blessed those nephews because it was already written within their gadam, showing us how the way of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji is the truth. Because Waheguru Ji will always give to us based on our own gadam, based on our own actions. That whatever we have within this life is because of our own previous actions. That is what Waheguru Ji blesses us with. That if we want to take a message away as a Gursikh from this week's Bodhi, then we can go back to the start of this Bodhi and do the Arth in a different way, and to take away that message for a Gursikh. Asana loe pandar. That where is that asana? Where is that throne? Where is that seat? Where does Waheguru Ji reside? Loe, the first loe is referring to the jot, the light of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. The second loe is referring to the gyan of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji, the knowledge of Waheguru Ji. The Waheguru Ji, that throne, can become our own hearts. They can become our hirada. The Waheguru Ji can reside within our hearts if we repeat the name of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. if we repeat the Guru Mantra, the Mool Mantra that is given to us by the Panch Pyare, if we listen to Kirtan Katha, if we implement the teachings within to our lives, we can ensure that Vaheguruji, that asana is in fact within our own hearts. That when we recite Gurbani, when we recite that Mool Mantra, that Guru Mantra, we enshrine it within our hearts, ensuring that Vaheguruji resides within our own hearts, that throne, that asana becomes our hearts. Then what is that Pandar? What is that store? The Gurusik themselves become that store. Through listening, believing and implementing those teachings, they are able to obtain the Shubhagun, the good virtues of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji. That they start to collect those. They become the store of those Shubhagun. Oh Sapta Santokh, Daya, Taram, Tiraj, Nimirta, Vivek, Vairag. All of these gun, all of these virtues, such as the truth, compassion, and unbreakable faith, patience, humbleness, we start to collect these gun. We start to collect these virtues, that we become that Pandar, because we are obtaining the Shubhagun of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji. Therefore, a Gurusik, that asana, that throne, that seat of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji can be our hearts, by ensuring that we enshrine Gurbani into our hearts, that we are able to collect the Shubhagun of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji, the good virtues of Vaheguruji, through following their teachings, through repeating the name of Akal Purukh Vaheguru. Jo kich paya so ekavar. That how can Vaheguruji bless us at once? We have talked about this Bhakti, that whatever Vaheguruji gives us, they give us just once. Well, when we go in front of the Panch Pyare, we are given that Guru Mantra, that Mool Mantra, just once. And then it is installed inside of us. That we do not have to go to these Bakhandi Babu, we do not have to go to these fake prophets. Because the Panch Pyare themselves, in the presence of Dan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, bless us with that Naam, bless us with that Guru Mantra, that Mool Mantra, just once. And then we are to do Abhyas, and then we are to practice repeating the name of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji over and over again. That if we want to have that asana, that throne of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji within our hearts, then we must continually repeat the name that is given to us at that Amrit Sanchar by the Panch Pyare of the Guru Mantra and the Mool Mantra. By going in front of the Panch Pyare, we are blessed to have that daya, that dharam, that himmat, that mokam, and then we become the Sahib. We become the masters by going in front of the Panch Pyare. That we are blessed with this at once when we go to that Amrit Sanchar. That if we want to have that asana within our heart, then we must repeat the name that is given to us. That this Bhakti can also mean that this is our turn to become one with Akal Purukh Vaheguruji. That this is the opportunity that we have been given to join with Akal Purukh Vaheguruji. That if we want to do so, then we must repeat the name of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji that has been given to us by the Panch Pyare. Kar kar vekhe siddhajanhar. Having been blessed, how can we constantly see, how can we constantly get darshan of that Siddhajanhar Vaheguruji? That once we have received Khandidi Bol, once we have received Amrit, that is not the end. Often we see receiving Amrit as the final step, as the end game. But Satsangaji, that is just the beginning of our spiritual journey. That is where it all just starts. Having received Khandidi Bahol, having received Amrit, we must continue listening, believing and implementing the teachings of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji. That's how we are able to ensure that we constantly see Vaheguruji. The first card is referring to listening and believing in the teachings. The second card is referring to actually implementing those teachings within our lives. Having received Amrit, if we constantly listen, believe and implement the teachings of Akal Purukh Vaheguruji, we are able to ensure that we are going to break free of the 84 lakh joon, the 8.4 million life forms that we are entangled within. However, some of us may be lucky that we become Jivan Mukht, that we become liberated while still alive. That for some of us it might happen at the end of our lives. But the way to do so is through following the hukam of Waheguru Ji, that we must go in front of the Panch Pyare, receive Khandadi Bahul, that we then must continue listening, believing and implementing the teachings that are being given to us. And then we'll have that darshan, we'll constantly be able to see that Sirjanhar Waheguru Ji that is creating and sustaining our lives. That's how we can ensure we are constantly being blessed. Nanak Sache Ki Sachi Kar. Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj is telling us that Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji is the truth, that the way is also the truth, that if we want to obtain the truth, if we want to obtain that Brahm Gyan, that divine knowledge, if we want to become one with Waheguru Ji, if we want to break free of the 84 lakh joon, if we want to rid ourselves of all the path that we have done, then we must follow the path that has been set out for us by Dhan Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. That we must go in front of the Panch Pyare, we must receive Khandadi Pahul, we must recite that Mool Mantra, that Gur Mantra, stay within that rate, that discipline that has been given to us, if we want to obtain the truth. Guru Sahib is saying that nothing else will work for us. That if you want to obtain the truth, then you must follow the truth. And the truth being Khandidi Pahul, living within that rate, that discipline that is given to us by the Panch Pyare. That's how we are able to become one with Waheguru Ji. That's how we are able to break free of the 84 lakh joon, by following the path of the truth. That Waheguru Ji is the truth, that their command is also the truth as well. Ades to say Ades salutations, namaskara to Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji, who is the giver, organizer and deliverer of our lives. Ades to say Ades, that we do not bow to anybody else, only to Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. All praises to Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji, who has created this world, sustained this world, and will deliver us back into themselves if we follow the path of truth that we have mentioned. Ades, that we can say the Shabad and split it to A and Des. A meaning Ang, how Waheguru Ji has no Ang. Des meaning that body, that how although Waheguru Ji doesn't have an Ang, they are still present in every single body, because like we have mentioned, the creation is only complete once the creator is within the creation itself. That Waheguru Ji is known to reside everywhere within this creation, within every single part of this creation. That through repeating the name of Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji that we have mentioned, we can ensure that we can see that asan within our own hearts. Ades to say Ades, namaskara to Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji, who is the giver, organizer and deliverer of our lives. Ad Anil Anad Anahat Jug Jug Eko Ves. Ad meaning how Waheguru Ji was present right at the beginning, that they are the primal being. That when everything coming into existence, Waheguru Ji was already there. They're already there because they are the primal Lord. Anil, Neel meaning Kala Rang to Rehit, is Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji. That they are outside of that black mark. They do not have that impurity because they are completely pure. That we have in previous weeks we have done the art of Anil to mean Ganti to Rehit. That you cannot, they are countless. That this is also a art that we can do. That the Mukh art for this week is Kale Rang to Rehit. Anad. That although Akal Purkh Waheguru Ji is the primal being, although they were present at the beginning, Waheguru Ji themselves do not have a beginning. Just like how we've been blessed with the Kakar of Akara. Akara is of a circular shape, representing that it has no beginning or end. In the same way how Waheguru Ji does not have a beginning or an end. Anahat. Anahat meaning Nasta Rehit. That they are indestructible because they are the truth. They are the form of Sat. that no one can finish them off. And we have also done the art of anahata, of ahata, meaning that instrument such as a piano that needs someone to actually make that physical action, make that physical move, to actually play it for the sound to come out. And Vaheguruji being anahata, how they do not rely on anybody else. How whatever they do within this world is because of themselves. They are self-sustainable, they are self-sufficient. They do not rely on anybody else. Whatever Vaheguruji does, they do themselves. And Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj concludes their teachings this week by telling us, Jug Jug Eko Ves. Jug Jug, throughout the many different ages, there has been one form, Eko Ves, one form of Akal Purkh Vaheguruji. That is forever the truth. In this week's teachings, we have seen how Vaheguruji is present everywhere. That how their asana, their throne, is every single part of this creation because they reside everywhere. That when we look at the deeper teachings, we have seen that how that asana, that throne, can be our own hearts through enshrining Gurbani into our hearts by repeating that Guru Mantra, that Mula Mantra that is blessed to us by the Panj Pyare. We are able to ensure that that throne of Akal Purkh Vaheguruji is within our own hearts. That Guru Sahib has also taught us this week, have given us that message that if we want to obtain that truth, then we must follow the path of the truth. That we must go in front of the Panj Pyare, receive Khanditi Pohol, and live within that ret that is given to us. The next week, the Siddhs will continue asking Guru Sahib questions, and Guru Sahib will begin to describe the Satapumaka, the 7 steps of becoming one with Vaheguruji. That is what we'll be blessed with next week. Whilst doing the Vichara, whilst reading the part this week, I have made many mistakes. If I have offended anybody with what I have said, please know that it was not my intentions to do so. That we are simply just trying to share the teachings of Dhan Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. That I do ardas that we are all able to obtain that truth. That we are all blessed enough to follow the path of the truth, to obtain that Brahm Gyan, to break free of the 84 lakh June. So please forgive me for all of my mistakes. Lekhe kete ne shutiye, kin pulan har, baksan baksale, nanak par utar. Ades tase ades, ad anil anad anahat, jug jug eko ves. Vaheguruji ka Khalsa, Vaheguruji ki Fateh.